Everyone, those of you that complain about not being able to hear me in my videos, gonna love this one, man. I'm in the world's biggest tennis stadium at the US Open, where Swiatek just won their game, and Sinner will be on next, so that's all good.
I better keep my voice down. I am in the last row of the nosebleeds here in the world's biggest tennis stadium. But
Swiatek is playing down below, and we're waiting for Sinner to come on. We're actually here for the Mexican.
Renata is our hero, but she's not going to be playing here. She's going to be on the out courts. We'll go and look at that. Either way, just very briefly, this used to be a vacation week. I wouldn't even put in a video, but for the fact that NVIDIA now reports and has become the world's largest stock by some way in history, 8% of the S&P 500 is an all-time record. $4 trillion of market cap is an all-time record. And, things still absolutely booming for them with the one issue that they can't easily sell their H2O chips to H20, I guess, chips to H2O. H20 chips to China, but they're in backlog, and as soon as that opens up, I'm sure NVIDIA will get another leg higher. If the China situation continues to be a standoff on rare earths versus chips, that may delay some of the bull case for NVIDIA, which today is just trading off a little bit, but nothing dramatic. We'll see, because at this time of year after Jackson Hole, which came in, I guess, relatively dovish, so bullish the market. Jay Powell, typically after that Jackson Hole performance, historically means the market goes into a wild time come September, October, and that's where we're headed right now. With market valuation where it is, and with NVIDIA having reported, you've got to think that the risk is to the downside here. And certainly Goldman are out there with the call that the downside call is there in oil. They're out reiterating $50 oil-ish for next year. I think they've got $56 WTI forecast for next year. Which, with volatility would imply that we do see that four handle that I was talking about before summer. Still talking about it. It's just I said don't pay any attention during summer. We're talking about 2026 here. So Goldman is on the bandwagon as well. And the other significant one there is Halima Croft at RBC has a $50 price target-ish in for next year, which is significant. Not so much because Halima's known for big oil calls in terms of the price, but because she's known for big oil calls to the Saudi minister directly. And it seems that the message there is they're going to bring the price down. We could even see further increases in OPEC production coming up, actually. We'll see what happens. Geopolitically, of course, it remains extremely noisy. We've got the situation with China now not being asked not to import Russian oil. India saying, we don't care, we're going to import it anyway. One thing that we've highlighted several times is that Indian pump prices haven't changed at all. So all this cheap Russian oil is actually just a profit for basically the Indian refiners, who I'm sure have very good friends in government. Hey, let's not go there. On the Russia-Ukraine front, the big deal obviously is the attacks on Russian refineries. I was hearing that Petrologistics is saying the impact is only 200,000 barrels a day of outage, and that's because the Russian refining sites are enormous. They're designed to be attacked, if that makes sense. They were designed as war refineries, and so they're on vast footprints, which makes them very difficult to completely disable. And typically what you'll see here is the drones are blowing up oil tanks, which in the grand scheme of things is not that big a deal. But of course, all the pressure on Russian refining and pressure on the Russian economy is a big deal. And it's just further pressure on Putin, who doesn't really seem to be bowing at all to global pressure, ex-Mr. Trump. So that's that. So we're just watching Russian refining, which has been a major increment. The other bearish thing out there is just the weather here in New York is just not that hot. And we haven't had hot weather really through August, and that's been a bit of a disaster for natural gas. We now start second guessing whether or not winter will be cold. I think it's cool enough now actually start wondering whether we'll have a cold winter. Actually, I think we could, but broadly speaking, the trend has been some warmer winters, and so natural gas looks pretty beaten up for the next year or so as well. We'll see, despite all the bullish stuff happening on the demand side, which is very much the case in oil. It's just the sheer weight of supply that is the problem here. That's about it. I'll be back next week. And, after I went on for 24 minutes on my last on the IR of Chevron was begging for mercy. He's like, dude, can you not do 24-minute videos? So I'll keep it short. Have a great day. Love you, Alex. Hope all's well, man.